10 roughest towns in Northern Ireland. Northern Ireland is famous for its dramatic coastlines, rich history, and strong sense of identity. But beneath the scenic beauty lies another reality. Certain towns face deep-rooted challenges that impact daily life. From high crime rates to chronic unemployment and struggling public services, some communities are caught in a cycle of deprivation. In this video, we take a respectful, fact-based look at the 10 roughest towns in Northern Ireland, based on data like crime levels, poverty, health disparities, and housing quality. This isn't about shaming. It's about shedding light on areas that deserve more support, investment, and understanding. Let's get started. 10. Banbridge, County Down. Banbridge might look idyllic with its 19th century buildings and pleasant riverside parks, but not all areas share in its postcard charm. In recent years, some housing estates have struggled with rising antisocial behaviour and low employment. Issues like substance abuse and a lack of youth opportunities persist, especially in peripheral parts of the town. Although Banbridge ranks better than some others on broader deprivation indices, hidden pockets still face social exclusion. For example, low-income households report difficulties accessing basic services. Crime in Northern Ireland reports have also highlighted increases in minor assault and vandalism in certain areas. As the town continues to grow, it's clear that regeneration efforts must include all of Banbridge, not just the town centre. 9. Limavady, County Londonderry. Nestled near the Roe Valley Country Park, Limavady combines natural beauty with cultural heritage. But behind the views lies a town facing notable hardship. The Northern Ireland Multiple Deprivation Measure, NIMDM, places some areas of Limavady in the top 20% most deprived for education, health, and access to services. Drug misuse has emerged as a major concern. Emergency services have reported increased call-outs linked to substance abuse and mental health crises. Youth disengagement is also an issue, with limited access to training, apprenticeships, or community-led programs. Residents often voice frustration about a lack of economic opportunity and the perception that investment bypasses the town. That said, community spirit in Limavady remains strong, and local groups continue to push for change. 8. Dungannon, County Tyrone. Dungannon is one of the most diverse towns in Northern Ireland, with around 1 in 3 residents born outside the UK or Ireland. This multiculturalism has brought vibrancy but also pressure. Deprivation in Northern Ireland statistics show Dungannon struggles with housing shortages, limited school capacity, and strained healthcare services. The rapid population growth has outpaced infrastructure, leading to overcrowded housing and increased demand on services. Community integration can be difficult, especially when residents face language barriers and employment discrimination. Some areas have reported inter-community tension, which has occasionally escalated into public disorder. Crime levels are moderate, but rising incidents of domestic abuse and property crime are worrying trends. Local councils are working on integration strategies, but progress is slow and uneven. 7. Carrickfergus, County Antrim. Carrickfergus, home to one of Ireland's oldest castles, is a town of historical pride, but it also grapples with 21st century problems. The roughest towns in Northern Ireland often share common themes: limited opportunities, pockets of generational poverty, and growing social tensions. Carrickfergus fits that pattern. Some estates in the east of the town have recorded higher than average crime rates, particularly around petty theft, vandalism, and drug-related offences. Public transport access is limited, especially for young people looking to commute for work or study. While tourism remains a bright spot, many residents argue that the benefits rarely reach those in need. In this way, Carrickfergus tells a familiar Northern Irish story: historic value overshadowed by modern economic neglect. 6. Newtownards, County Down. Newtownards may be known for its bustling high street and proximity to Belfast, but a closer look reveals stark disparities. Specific neighbourhoods, such as West Winds and Mavilla, rank among the most deprived in Northern Ireland's social statistics. Key issues include domestic violence, child poverty, and long-term unemployment. The Police Service of Northern Ireland has cited Newtownards as a hotspot for antisocial behaviour and youth violence in recent years. Some residents say they feel unsafe walking through certain areas at night due to intimidation and gang activity. Community leaders continue to advocate for better mental health services, addiction support, and educational outreach. But change comes slowly, and the divides between rich and poor in Newtownards remain wide. 5. Larne, County Antrim. Larne is a port town that once thrived thanks to shipping and heavy industry. Today, it's one of the roughest towns in Northern Ireland by several key measures. Unemployment levels remain stubbornly high, and local employers often complain about a shortage of skilled labour, highlighting the need for better education and training systems. Drug-related crime has also surged, with reports pointing to a growing presence of organised criminal activity in surrounding estates. Mental health is a particularly severe issue in Larne. Health Trust data indicates that suicide and self-harm rates are above the national average, a statistic often linked to economic despair and isolation. Despite all this, Larne still boasts natural beauty and a committed population, suggesting that with the right investment, renewal is possible. 4. Coleraine, County Londonderry. Coleraine is best known as a university town, and for tourists, it's a gateway to the Causeway Coast. But beyond the visitor-friendly facade lies a different reality. Several areas in Coleraine, particularly those outside the town centre, rank poorly in the NIMDM for income, health and education. Crime in Northern Ireland data lists Coleraine among towns with above-average burglary and assault incidents. Community leaders have raised concerns about the postcode gap, the idea that where you live in Coleraine dramatically affects your life outcomes. Poor public transport links and underfunded schools further widen this divide. Still, local councils are taking steps to improve housing and promote social inclusion. The question is whether these efforts can keep up with the scale of the challenge. 3. Ballymena, County Antrim. Ballymena has long been an economic engine in the region, but its fortunes have turned in recent decades. Following the closure of key factories and retail centres, the town was left with few job options and a growing sense of abandonment. Drug use is a persistent problem here. Police reports frequently mention heroin and synthetic drugs, especially among young adults. The deprivation in Northern Ireland statistics rank parts of Ballymena among the worst for health outcomes and employment. Efforts have been made to revitalise the town centre, but much of the deprivation is concentrated in surrounding housing estates where many feel left behind. Still, the people of Ballymena remain deeply community-focused, and grassroots efforts to tackle these issues are gaining ground. 2. Portadown, County Armagh. Portadown has a complex history marked by sectarian divisions, and some of those old wounds still affect life today. Areas like Corcrane and Brownstown face ongoing social exclusion and deprivation. The town is listed in government reports as having one of the highest rates of youth crime in Northern Ireland, including vandalism, assaults and theft. Public facilities like libraries and youth clubs have seen cuts, limiting engagement options for younger residents. Educational underachievement is another concern, particularly in working-class estates. Many families report difficulty accessing mental health care or social housing, and some feel neglected by local authorities. Despite its challenges, Portadown's residents are known for their resilience, and there are strong local organisations working to bring change. 1. Lurgan, County Armagh. Lurgan tops our list not to stigmatise it, but because it consistently appears among the roughest towns in Northern Ireland by multiple indicators. These include poverty levels, crime, and long-term health inequalities. The town has witnessed rising levels of antisocial behaviour and gang activity in areas such as Kilwilkie and Tagnavan. The NIMDM placed these areas in the top 5% most deprived for health, education, and income. Unemployment among youth remains high, and educational attainment in some zones falls below the regional average. Residents often speak of feeling ignored, left out of both investment and public discourse. Yet Lurgan has a rich cultural legacy, and many locals are fiercely proud of their identity. Community centres, sports clubs, and youth initiatives are quietly doing powerful work to uplift those most affected. These 10 roughest towns in Northern Ireland aren't defined by their struggles. They're shaped by the strength of the people who live in them. From Lurgan to Banbridge, each place tells a story of hardship, resilience, and hope. With more investment and visibility, these towns could be known not for their problems, but for their potential. Thank you for watching this video. Please don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell.